Okay, M10-9 says E-Tech Initiatives Limited plans to issue 500,000 10-year 4% bonds. Interest is payable annually on December 31st. All of the bonds will be issued on January 1st, 2013. Show how the bonds were reported on the January 2nd, 2013 balance sheet if they are issued at 97. Okay, the goal of this problem is to just show what it would look like on the balance sheet. So I'm going to put little asterisks around here. This is actually the only goal of this problem, but I'm going to show you a few more steps to make sure that you fully understand what's going on here. The first thing is the bond's face value. So remember the face value, you can think of it like the principal. It's the original amount printed on that bond statement, okay? 500,000, to give you an example of what an actual bond document looks like, okay? But 500,000 is the original face value. That's what we call face value. That's the principal, so to speak, of the bond, okay? It tells us that the bond was issued at 97. What do they mean by that? They mean it was 97% of the face value. So that's what they're indicating when they say 97, okay? So 500,000 times 97%, that gives us 485,000. 485,000 is the actual amount of cash proceeds that the people who issued the bond got, okay? So 485,000 is the amount that they actually got. This is what is said to be issued at a discount, okay? A discount happens when the market interest rate is demanding more than what we call the stated interest rate is, right? The stated interest rate is the rate that's printed on that bond. And there's multiple different names that we can go by. Market can also be thought of as yield. Stated rate can also be thought of as coupon. You could also think of this guy as the discount rate. Abbreviate discount here. But either way, these are all the rates that we deal with. The two main that we're talking about here is the market versus the stated. Those are the two comparisons that we're making. And if the market is demanding a higher interest rate than what is printed on that bond contract, then the bond proceeds that you actually get are going to have to be dropped in order to equal that out to what the market's actually demanding. Okay? So 485,000 is the amount of cash proceeds that we're actually getting. If we were to do a journal entry here, okay, if we were to do a journal entry, we would debit cash because we get cash. That amount would be 485. We would credit bonds payable. Whenever we credit bonds payable, it's always the face value. Whenever you credit bonds payable, it's always the face value, okay? We would debit, because these two don't equal. Notice that 485, this side of the journal entry, does not equal the 500 on this side of the journal entry. We would debit what we call discount on bonds. I'm just going to abbreviate a discount here, and it's going to be the difference, the 15, right? This discount is a contra account. Contra to what? Contra to bonds payable, okay? It offsets bonds payable. It's called a contra liability account, okay? Notice that contra accounts, they always go opposite. You always increase them with the opposite side of what the account is that they're offsetting. So the first contra account that I think we learned about was accumulated depreciation. Accumulated depreciation is a contra asset account, so it offsets fixed assets, right? Fixed assets are increased with a debit, so accumulated depreciation will be increased with a credit. However, this is a contra liability account. The discounts on bond payable is offsetting bonds payable. Bonds payable is increased with a credit, therefore the discount on bonds payable would be increased with a debit, okay? Again, you didn't have to do this journal entry, but I just want you to understand the components. So then moving on to what was actually the requirement here, what is it going to look like when we show this bond on the balance sheet? Well, we could show it like this, so to speak, a little tiny reconciliation here. 500,000 is the initial amount of the bond, the face value, or the principal portion, less our discount on bonds payable, the contra account, right? It offsets, it goes beneath the account that it's offsetting here. 15, right, gives us a carrying value. We call this carrying value of 485,000. You could also show this as one line item on the balance sheet is just bonds payable net 485. Does that make sense? And then anyone with a general business background should understand that that net means net of that discount, okay? If you have any questions on M10-9, please feel free to let me know.